Jacque Fresco's life work has helped contribute towards raising an awareness of the need for our society today to transition towards a new sustainable social system which takes into account social and environmental sustainability. A holistic system which recognizes that we must live in accordance with natural laws in order to survive in the long run on planet Earth, called a resource-based economy. This economic system makes all goods and services available to all people without the need for money, credits, barter, or any other system of debt or servitude. Fresco's multifaceted background meant that he could be associated with many different titles, though there is no doubt that much of his time was spent as an industrial designer, educator, and social engineer. Beginning in New York during the Great Depression, Fresco was exposed to a variety of different concepts and ideas, which helped to shape him as a social thinker. Witnessing the extreme levels of poverty during this time forced him to think up ways in which technical solutions and designing our way out of social problems could help change the world for the better. In the late 1930s, Fresco worked as a designer for the Douglas Aircraft Company in California. Fresco's radical take on solving technical flight problems meant that his designs were not taken seriously. In 1942, Fresco was drafted into the US Army and positioned in the technical design team for the Army Air Force at Wright Field Design Laboratories in Dayton, Ohio. It was here that Fresco struggled to adapt to military life, and he was later discharged. The advent of his social design work being applied in the real world occurred after World War II in the late 1940s, when Fresco designed the trend home. This new type of home embodied materials that were new and techniques that were innovative for its time. The materials used, which were essentially aluminium and glass, lended themselves to mass production and handling. After the Trend Home project, Fresco moved on to direct scientific research laboratories in Los Angeles. This was where Fresco's lectures on science being applied to social concern and teaching technical design could be heard. Fresco undertook freelance and scientific consultancy work for a living, but ultimately faced financial difficulties due to a lack of interest from potential fundraisers for his research. In 1955, Fresco departed from Los Angeles and moved to Miami, Florida, continuing at this time to further support himself through his freelance work as an inventor. Fresco pulled all of his ideas and concepts together for a new world based on using the very best of science and technology for bettering humanity under the umbrella name Project Americana. By the late 1960s, Fresco co-authored his first published book called Looking Forward, which outlined a speculative outlook for the future of human society. Fresco pictured an ideal cybernetic society in which wants have been banished and work and personal possessions no longer exist. Following on from this, a critical milestone in Fresco's life work was when he established the organization in Miami called Socio-Cyberneering.
Socio-Cyberneering is a new organization, and it represents the application of the most sophisticated forms of science and technology toward problem solving so that we can reclaim the environment which we loused up over the years, and to build a way of life worthy of man, to humanize society, to break away from the artificiality, the regimentation that dominates our society today.
A final and penultimate milestone in Fresco's life work was his construction of the Venus Project, located in Venus, Florida during the 1980s, and where Fresco spent the rest of his life. The project encompassed all of the learnings, designs, and ideas Fresco developed over his lifetime, and synthesized all of this information into film and book media in order to communicate the concept of a resource-based economy. He also ran regular tours and lectures for curious visitors wanting to learn more about the sustainable direction the Venus Project advocates.
If enough people work at what I talk about, I believe we can change the world. If they do nothing, nothing will happen. I can't accept the world as it is today, so I do everything I can to build a world of sustainability for all people, not any single nation. I don't hope to gain anything. I just hope to do the best I can, and whatever happens, happens.